And good morning. Welcome to another edition of Coach's Corner here on the Highliner Activity Network on this brisk morning on this Thursday, first Thursday in November. And we are getting ready for postseason volleyball on Saturday. But we got one more match left to go in the regular season. We're joined by Kinley Suffolkul and Coach Cynthia Clabo from Highliner Volleyball. And Kinley, I'll start with you. Different position this year because you were libero last year, moved into the setter role. How has been the transition for you this year?
The thing I loved about libero was it was all defense, and with the setter aspect, I get to play a little bit more offense. So I kind of like that. I kind of feel more into the play. But the thing I still love about setter is that I still get to play a lot of defense. So
and
I like that.
You're kind of like the quarterback. The setter's like the quarterback on the volleyball court. And so what's kind of your thought? What's going through your mind as a match is going on and you're back there?
Just like if my outside getter gets a kill, like I just need to make sure I feed her the ball again. Just thinking about where the ball's going to go next so that we can side out and get a point.
You look at the other side, too, where your defender is, and okay, we got to avoid that spot. We got to avoid that spot. Is that going through your mind as well?
Yeah, kind of. So if their line is open, I'll call Jovi a line, and then she'll go line. So,
okay.
Yeah.
The serving has been, and this is something we'll talk with you about, two coaches, has been really, really good for everybody here in the last handful of matches. I think I mentioned it looked like it started with Horace, and it's been continuing on. When you get into that service line, what kind of things are you thinking about? Are you looking at a spot? Are you looking at a person when you serve, or what?
The first couple, I just try to get it in.
Just get it over.
Yeah, but then once I get a couple into it, then I try to serve more aggressive. And if there's a hole I see on the other side, I'll try to serve there.
And Coach, I'll talk to you about that. We've talked about serve receive. It's probably the most important part of a volleyball match because if you don't get that serve in, you're giving them a point and you lose the ball. What has been the difference here with this team? Because it seems like their serving first has been really outstanding the last 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've averaged under 5 service errors per match, and even on our 5-set matches, which is really good. And then, of course, I hate every missed serve. So I get mad at every missed serve, but then I look back at the stats, I'm like, oh, we actually served pretty good.
Because I know, like Horace, I think I had 5 in that 5-set. I only think we had 2 or 3 against Shanley.
Yeah, and I feel like I remember every single one of them, you know? No, it's very good. I mean, not talking about a different team, but a lot of times we get quite a few points because they're missing serves. And that just, for me, is hard to take because you might as well just give them the ball, right? Now, if you have served like 5, 6 in, and then you're trying something new and miss, okay. Right? But on your first one or second one, it's like, no, we have to give ourselves a chance.
You're right. Yeah. Get the ball over and then go from there. And we talked about the receive end of it. How about that? Do you like the way that the back row is doing that part of it? Or can there be some improvement?
Sometimes we're like this. We've ride the roller coaster a little bit, right? But that serve-receive is a huge mental game, right? So if you keep serving at spot 5 and that person keeps shanking it, they keep thinking, well, I can't do it, right? And we've tried to put our mindset in, okay, I missed one, no big deal. I got this next one, right? So I feel like we do a really good job of bouncing back.
Right. Well, one thing I was noticing, or I've noticed all year when I watch these matches, the ball doesn't have a magnet on it, and you don't have a magnet on your hand, so you got to move. Do you like the way that they move around, too, and that they're really trying to get to that ball and get to a certain spot when they're trying to get, like for a setter? They're doing a lot of movement. You can't just stand there because the ball's not just going to come to you. You got to move around. Is that a big part of volleyball, too, is just movement, footwork, I guess is the proper terminology?
Yes, big time. What do I say almost every time out or before we start practice? Do you have fast feet?
Yeah.
Do your feet feel fast? Like that's literally every time I think we get together as a group because you have to have fast feet. If you don't, you're going to be late to the ball and you're not going to get a good set or a good pass or a good hit. So,
Shanley match, let's talk a little bit about that. Yes, it was a 3-set loss, but like I said in the newspaper, they escaped with the win because you guys played really well. What do you think was the key, especially in that first set? I mean, down, I think, 5 at one point, came back, and it was kind of back and forth. What do you think was just the key of why you guys played so well against teams like that? That's top-tier teams.
I think we went into it with we have nothing to lose. They're the number 1 team, and Horace beat them, and we knew that we could play with Horace, so we knew that we could play with Shanley too. And I think once we had the momentum, we kind of just ran with it. and we took advantage of having the momentum on the court and shutting them down.
And in a lot of momentum is key. We've talked about this a lot. How in volleyball momentum is a huge part of it, but also the mental aspect. Did you think too? And I'm not going to put words in your mouth, so I'll say it. Maybe they were a little overconfident coming in, and you guys think what you want. We know what we can do. Do you think maybe that played a little bit part of it too?
Yeah, I think we kind of wanted revenge on them from the first time we played them. But yeah, I think we came out really strong against them.
And what do you think too, Coach, with these last few matches, even the losses, you played really well. What is this team? I mean, the light bulb situation, they're getting it. What do you think has been the biggest difference here in the last month?
I think just their confidence in themselves. And we keep talking about that. We just need a little bit more, right? Because I know that they're very good. They need to realize that they are also good. Big thing is we play better when our intensity is high and our voices are talking.
Yeah.
If we're quiet and we're not moving, we don't play as well. So, yeah, that's what we need to do.
Wahpeton tonight on the road. We know what the carrot is that's being dangled out there. What is? Do you have a? You're not a rah-rah speech kind of a coach, I don't think, are you? Are you just, or is she?
No.
You're a cheerleader.
I don't know. I feel like sometimes I have some
Inspirational.
Yeah,
Yes,
and I'm like,
for
I
sure.
gave myself goosebumps sometimes. But for the most part, I mean, I want the team to lead. Like, I don't want me to be the leader because it's them that's playing, and I just want to encourage them to be those leaders on the court, like 6 of them or 10 of them, however many are playing, right? Every single one of you needs to lead. So if one's down a little bit, hey, pick that person up. And we've done tons of mental stuff where you write down things that, what are things you need to say to yourself to get back up?
Right.
And then you share it with the person beside you, and then they can say it back. I don't know if you guys have used that, but it's like, oh yeah, that's right, I can do it, I got it, or whatever their phrases to themselves.
Right.
So it's, every single one of them needs to be a leader, not me.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be them. And even though you're a junior, Kinley, though, you've been around it a while, and you guys have played together for many, many years. So did you still feel, despite being a junior, there was still some leadership role for you that you would have to take when you step on the court?
Yeah, I do. No matter the age, even Bryn, she takes a good leadership role too. So it's just nice to see that everyone on the court can be a leader. Like when I'm having an off night, someone else will pick me up.
Yep.
And then when someone else is having an off night, I'll pick them up. So yeah, I think she's really helped us this year with keeping everyone accountable on the court.
No. Has it been a fun year, though?
Yes, for sure. We're really starting to peak at the end of the season, which is exactly what we want.
Well, that's what they say. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. And now tonight, a win, that means we're home on Saturday. I think that I'm pretty sure you got to win if memory serves. But even though it's Wahpeton, a team that's down, you still have to tell this team, you guys got to come ready to play.
Oh, for sure. You don't take anybody for granted. You don't. No, I mean, you go in ready to play your game. And that's what we say every single time we play. We need to play our game.
Yeah.
Not what's happening over there, we play ours. And when we play ours, we're really good. So, yeah, we're ready to go tonight.
Well, it's because you said in this conference, it's EDC. You don't know what's going to happen. Anybody can beat anybody on a given night. Because if you have a bad night or Jovi has something's going to happen. But let's put the cart before the horse then. How big would it be to get a chance? I'll ask you this: a host a playing game here on Saturday. How big would that be for you?
I think that's super big because ever since I've been playing 9th grade year, we have always lost in the play-in game, and it was always away. And this time it's home, and it's a team that we can win against. We know we can, and so I think just getting into that EDC tournament would be a big motivator.
And I know I don't. This is. I'll try to phrase this question, Coach, for you a little bit, but it is going to be probably the last year in the EDC. But you came into this year saying, I don't care. We can compete in this conference. You guys have proven that. How proud are you just of the way that this team has proven, even though we're going to be Class B next year, we're still in EDC this year, that we're here, we can compete. How proud are you of the way that this team has played this season?
Oh, I don't know if words can describe, really. And you come in and they're like, oh, it's going to be a tough year. I'm like, whatever. Like, go away from me. We got this. Like, I have good players, so just walk away, right? That's what I told a lot of people before we started, and even during the season. They're like, oh, it's going to be a tough match. I'm like, why don't you come out and watch? We are a good team. We can take any team as long as we're playing our game.
Right.
Right? One person's off, and we need to be all there, ready to go. So,
well, tonight they head to Wahpeton, and if they get by the Huskies, they will be hosting on Saturday, and that's a 1 o'clock a match on Saturday. So let's hope we're back here Saturday afternoon watching the Highlander volleyball team in the play-in game. But ladies, good luck tonight. Get that W, and we'll see you here hopefully Saturday afternoon then. Appreciate you joining us this morning.
Thank you.
That is, it's easy for me to say. Good thing I don't talk for a living. Kinley Suffolk and Cynthia Clavel joining us from Highlander Volleyball. Back with more Coach's Corner here from the Hack on the Highlander Activity Network. Maybe if I Back here at Coach's Corner here on the Highlander Activity Network, and the Highlander football season wrapped up here last week in a tough loss here at home against Wahpeton in the first round of the state playoffs. Coach Travis Ingen joining us, and I guess just your thoughts on the game against Wahpeton. And one thing is for sure, there was a young man on. We didn't, watching on TV. Trayton Malk is good, but when you watch him in person, he's a good football player.
He's an explosive kid. He's like a scat back with some speed. So he can make a guy miss inside, jump outside, and we didn't have an answer for him. He runs hard. He was determined that game and everything, and unfortunately, we were on the short end of the stick. So.
Looking at that game, the guys came back, got a couple of late touchdowns. It was a little, but they played hard.
Oh yeah, the kids always played hard. It's just we were out 12 starters, and we had been for quite a while, and you run out of steam. And we're the whole goal as a coach is to put kids in positions to have success, and that was a little difficult this year. And I give credit to all the players, but there was guys that I said, all right, we're going to have to move you. And none of them blinked, and that was great. You had Dylan Hunt play 3-4 different positions this year. Scott Rohde had to play a bunch of different positions. Colton Griebel had to, I go on and on with kids playing out of position, and none of them blinked, right? They just said, okay, we'll do it. Leighton Hendricks, a young kid, put him in a position that, he's aggressive, hard-nosed kid, Hunter Undum. All our kids are hard-nosed. It's just you can't put them in certain positions and expect to have the same type of success. Right. We dealt with so many serious injuries this year that you can't overcome it. It was tough.
Heart goes out to guys like a Parker Amon and Caden Amon their senior years that ended up the way it did. Yeah,
they were season-ending injuries. You don't traditionally see that. We saw, I don't know how many, 5?
At least,
whatever it was. And then they play both ways. That's 10 starters out just like that. And so it's tough to overcome that. It really is, with all the players going down and stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, nobody's feeling sorry for us, and I wouldn't feel sorry if the opponents had that issue either, So you just got to overcome, and our guys did a good job. We had a nice run in the middle of the season. Not starting with the Fargo South team and just getting over that hump of beating them. I know their season was not where they wanted it to be, Fargo South, but you got to get over that hump of realizing you can beat some of these teams, and so that was nice for the players.
What is one of the biggest positives that you took out of this season, Coach?
I think there's a lot. There really is. The one that I like the most when I look back after a few days here of just kind of breathing, is the kids never blinked. The kids did a great job. Those players, hey, Jack Dieterle, I got to move you you're a tight end, but I got to move you to the tackle. Okay.
Yep.
You know, you don't get that. And I didn't ask one. I asked about 5, 6 guys. And they all said, yeah, sounds great. Let's go. And so that's probably the biggest thing I'm going to take from the guys. They didn't care, right? Where do you need me? Where do you want me? And you can win with those guys. Right. You can have success with kids like that. And so hopefully we get some more bodies, healthy bodies, and stuff like that. So we'll be good. We'll be fine.
And with the younger guys that had to move in, that's a great experience for them.
Well, yeah, and like I said, it is. It's a great experience. They all got to learn how to play the speed. Our first couple games, we had a lot of young kids playing, and they went, oh, this is a little different, And I said, yeah, we haven't even got into our conference play yet. Right. So, they learned pretty quick that this is a little faster game than what they're used to, and they need that experience. And they got that, so that's a positive for the young kids and everything. But we played hard every game. That's another thing. The kids never quit. They there was frustrations in the games. In any game, you can be winning, and there's frustrations, and the kids, they let out some frustrations, but that's emotion, and they came back. And we went back to work the next week, and that's probably what I'm going to take back is those kids never blinked. We talk about what that legacy is, and those seniors and even juniors, I mean the whole team, but they never blinked. Didn't blink. Didn't matter. Hey, you got to play left guard. Okay. And stuff. So it was good that way.
And you look at those seniors; these guys been playing for you 2 years, but of course you're on the staff prior to that. They've been around for 3-4 years and have been through a lot. And so now they walk off the field. They can walk off the field proud of what they accomplished as Highliners.
Oh, without a doubt, without a doubt. We're playing in a tough division, knocking off Jamestown 2 out of my 3 years, I guess.
Yep.
And the kids winning that game out there, that was a great win for them. There's some things to be proud of. Knocking off South and Jamestown, and I don't know when the last time we beat St. Mary team. It's probably been a few years. Of course, we haven't played them in a while too. But those were some things that I think the kids down the road will remember, and everything else. So.
And the defense, it looked like for me, the defense really kept you in a lot of games and came up big when they had to. Yeah,
and that's the other thing. Coach Pecoraro does a real nice job of running the defense, and it's just a version of what I brought in, and he took it up another level. He really did, and we spend a lot of time working on our defense, making sure kids are in the right spot and we're sound and everything. We asked, beginning of the year, okay, where are we fitting all our bodies, And I said, well, I got the easy job. I know who my D linemen are, And I said, you worry about the other stuff. And we don't get that every year.
Right.
But, they did a really nice job with that, understanding what we wanted out of our defense and everything. And, Derek Shea playing both ways, Colton Griebel playing both ways, Jackson Thornton stepping up and playing corner for us for majority of the season. He just did an excellent job. We had Bryson in there at the end.
Yep.
And so we had to fit certain needs and everything, and they did a really nice job with that. Caleb McLaughlin fighting that high ankle injury all season long and saying, I'm not coming off. You can't take me off. I'm good. And so, all those things are the stuff that I'll remember.
And offensively, Bryson had a great year, and it's again that's where you look like, man, if you had a healthy Caden Alman, your ground game is there. But Caleb did a great job when he would have to step in. He's a hard runner.
Yeah, both those guys to me are 1 and 1A. They really are. They both brought different features to the running back position, and so that was great when we had them.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if we had them. Maybe the first couple games we had both of them, but after that it was like, okay, now who do we have?
Yeah.
And like I said, I give a lot of credit to Dylan Hunt. Okay, you got to play H, you got to play the J, you got to play left guard, and you got to play the tight end. And by the way, you got to play some receiver too. And he's like, oh, okay.
What jersey am I wearing tonight?
Yeah. And we brought, Jack Dieterle always brought 2 jerseys. Dylan Hunt brought 2 jerseys. And so we're scrambled them a little bit, on some certain areas, and they didn't blink, And then that's awesome.
Well, and I think watching the guys, the younger kids, you talk about those numbers, that junior high, that the junior varsity team, they saw some things, and I think there's some kids down there that are going to help out looking towards next year.
Yeah, we're going to be in that boat where 9th through 12th graders are going to play varsity football.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that. And it's like our job to make sure we get them ready and put them in a position to have success. Because it isn't going to be juniors, seniors are playing and, sophomores and freshmen wait your turn. It doesn't work that way, And we as a coaching staff sit down and go, the best players are playing. I don't care what your last name is. I don't care what grade you're in. If you're the best and gives us the best opportunity, you're in. And so usually that's the smartest one out there and then the most aggressive. Right. And you take a look at some of the younger players that saw playing time, even last year with Hunter Undum playing as a young kid, Leighton playing as a young kid. They did a really nice job, and yeah, they were probably playing a little out of position, but they didn't blink either. They said, okay, here we go.
Yep. Let's just throw wherever you want me, I'll play there.
Yeah, and that's what you want.
Yeah.
That's what you want out of players. Yeah, we wish they were all 6'5", 280, and ran a 4.4.
Right.
I'd be a great coach.
Well, it sounds like me in my day.
Yeah, yeah. If we had more Pauls in his day, we'd be perfect, And so we're going to be, in a position, to make sure our kids are going to be healthy, be smart football players out there, and to be aggressive. That's really what we're looking for. And we can get some more bodies out there like that, and we'll be fine.
Well, it's tough to always talk about the end of the year, but again, a good year, and it's still nothing to sneeze at. You look back at the 10 games. This was a good football season for Highlander football.
Yeah.
Not a great one, but
right.
A good one.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, that's probably the best way to put it. It was good. There is good out of other than if you don't win the state title or something like that. There is good to be found.
Yeah,
and them not blinking. Was great. Those guys not quitting was great. And I told them most of the season when they played well, it was like a beautiful symphony out there. I could just sit back and relax and watch. And we had glimpses of that. We had some games of that. We just didn't finish as the way we wanted to, And that's the great thing about competition is somebody's going to win.
Yeah.
And that's what drives a lot of the guys, drives the coaching staff, is the competition. That's what you want. You don't need 70-0 games. It's no good for either
anybody.
Team.
No. No. Well, Coach, I appreciate it all year long, and look forward to what's going to happen with a new class. I think I don't even talk about classes and divisions because it changes on a daily basis.
Yeah,
almost.
It does. Yes. Yeah. You're here. You're there. Yeah. This team's going up. This team's going down.
We'll worry about it next fall and see where things fall into place.
Exactly.
But I appreciate it all year long, Coach, and good luck to you again down the road. And we'll talk again.
That sounds great.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Coach Travis Engen joining us from the Highlander football team. Back and wrap things up here in Coach's Corner on the Highlander Activity Network. Back here in Coach's Corner here on the Highlander Activity Network. We're wrapping up today's show. And again, more fall sports coming up here on Saturday Again, if the Highlander girls do defeat Wapton tonight, they'll get that number 7 seed, and they would host Grand Forks Central here on Saturday. That is a 1 o'clock start here at the Hack. We'll have that game for you right here on the Highlander Activity Network. And then, then fall sports will be wrapping up, at least for us in our coverage. And then we'll be getting ready for the winter sports season and basketball getting going here and wrestling here in the next couple of weeks. And, of course, the fall play is coming up next week. We'll talk more about that on next week's show as well. So there's still a lot going on here. State Student Congress, that's getting started today in Bismarck. So we wish the Highlander Student Congress team the best of luck as they head out to Bismarck and the Student Congress state competition that gets started here today. Well, that's going to wrap things up for today's Coach's Corner. And my thanks to Kinley Suffolk and Cynthia Clabo from Highlander Volleyball, Coach Travis Ingen from the Highlander football team, of course, Ray Nelson, our camera operator and technical director here this morning. And we'll be back again next Thursday morning, 7:30, here at the Hack, and it is